Hello, people of the internet. How you doing? I hope you're alright. Today we're going to do a read a Twitch reading redeem, which is basically just a recommendation or suggestion. You can do that on this comment section. You can do it over my Twitch. If you have a specific like question, topic, subject you want me to read on, you can just post it. I will most likely do it. It has to be very much something not good for me to not do a reading on it, or for me to have already done a reading. But yet again, if you request a redo, I'll just have like, number two, number three, whatever, because some readings might repeat. So the topic is going to be weird, but I do want to preface and say that it is to support and to be healthy, to help, not necessarily to be, I don't know, in this case, naughty, because the reading is uh less reading. I don't know how I'm gonna fucking question it. Also, probably gonna be for the really good for the YouTube algorithm, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's a red flag, goddamn word on YouTube. But either way, the way I was kind of feeling the reading was gonna be is if you're having unexplained like experiences or feelings, or maybe you don't understand why you have like a polar attraction to either like a person or something else. This is kind of like gonna help you understand where that's coming from or why it's happening because one, the reading was a joke as an offering, but I instantly clicked onto it, which usually is really assigned to me or very much weird. But in this case, I still get why it might be like a good reading to have because it is one, an impulse control, worry. Two, it is also just like a health worry as well. And energetically, sexual energy is literally like one of the fucking lit commodities there is. It's a very much strong creational energy. There's so much that can happen with it in terms of either attachments or like people trying to energy harvest or siphon your life's energy through that, or have you addicted to them, or them just having addictions and then having you attached or having an attachment of theirs attached to you. And I'm gonna try and not get into the specific like health issues or things like that. This is going to be more so of a energy reading, but whatever's going to come through is going to come through. And I am getting pushed from spirit to do this reading. I did not pick it out. I haven't been picking out readings for a while now. Neither have I been picking out like topics for the podcast. So whatever's going to come through should be relevant on a energetical level, I would assume, more so to the like psychic warfare stuff that might still be going on for certain people and individuals, and or might be just like a heads up to some people in terms of them not really looking after themselves and explaining why that is occurring, like how are you getting taken away by whatever it is, right? Because sometimes we might not know why we are doing something. There's underlying like unseen reasons, subconscious reasons, whatever it is, right? Social reasons, and it might just be like useful to have this reading so you can stop or so you can just understand and have clarity. So, yeah, something about lust. I don't know how I'm gonna word it. I'm gonna think about it by the end of the reading before this gets publicated. I'll have like a day or two, so I'll figure the title out. But this is like a lust reading, I guess. So one, two, three, four, five. Pick the pile. We're gonna get into it. I did not expect this today. I really did not. But yeah, we're gonna see what pops up. So is this the reading where all of the cards are gonna be upright? No, okay. Well, almost, which is quite something. Quite something. All right. Okay, so those are the cards. I'll see you in pile one, two, three, four, or five, whichever you choose. So yeah, see you over there. Hello, pile number one. So you got the Magician as your main card. Do I just channel? Do I pull some cards? Let's pull some cards. Because I don't know. I don't know. I do want to say that you're quite, I don't know. You either have a lot of impulses going on right now, or you might be actually in general just active. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking was gonna pop out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. Okay. This message is getting quite direct, quite specific. Top and bottom. Oh my Lord, Jesus Christ. Okay, so I think you already kinda know what you are going through or doing, obviously, right? But why is probably like a question like why can't I get a grip of on myself? Why can't I get it together? Why can't I just in general like find the one or commit or in general like not be going around having fun and just not really paying attention to who I am or how I am. Why can't I get to something solid is coming through? In general, you are a very like capable person and you're very attractive and you really can make things happen in general, not just like to the point of, finding someone for whatever it is. The thing is, like, you're avoiding the point that this might be like, I guess for I wanted to say like an age, but actually I won't say an age because this now that I look at it, it's not a specific age. It's just a specific type of people that are avoiding the point that they can be independent, they can make their own happiness, and they can create like wholesome, good experiences with people. If you wanted to, you could commit, but you're just not quite there yet and you're not ready. And in general, you're going off of like flares and passions and just quick fixes to just feel something, to just be with someone for the moment and just to feel like you have someone around or you might be able to be happy through like the fleeting notion of just like having fun for no other reason than just to be in the moment. It's not long term, it's not sustainable, it's not even healthy, and you might be going through a lot of mood swings up and down. Some of you might actually have like an addiction issue as well with this. You might actually also have a little bit of an attachment, but that's not for everyone. The only way you will know if you do have like a metaphysical attachment of some sort is because you need to like go through partners like a drug. You're literally a complete addict that's out of control, and if you don't have these moments, you literally start feeling withdrawals. You can't think straight. You are like literally just itching to go find someone and it's going a little bit out of control as of late because you're really feeling out of balance and a lot of like heartache because you want emotional connection but you're not getting it. All you're getting is just like quick fixes and experiences that leave you wanting more, but then also you're signing up for it yourself. Like I think you're the initiator. I think you're the one that goes out and like, is that point of attraction. I think you're literally like in an addictive loop of being in your own way and then not committing to the idea that it might take some time to get detached from this unhealthy like lifestyle, because it is an unhealthy lifestyle. Some of you might have been doing this since like you were a teen, or since like college, like early adolescent years, or coming through late teens, something around that age. And the thing is, like, you're afraid that if you don't do this, don't have this, like, you'll be alone forever, and that maybe you can't commit, right? Some of you are like, I don't want to anyway. Like, I just want to have fun. And it's like, you're hiding. You're hiding yourself, and that's because you're so used to feeling subconsciously like you can't handle yourself anyway. If you're alone for too long, you start going crazy. If you don't do this, you're not financially or like materialistically stable as well in some ways. Like maybe you don't go out and party as well or as often then. Maybe you don't have like the attention from suitors, right? Maybe you don't have the opportunity to just go out and have fun and stuff like that. Like whatever it is, it seems like you tell yourself that you're fine, but you're actually not fine. There's a little pro or plus to this rating, which is all of this is actually leading you to finding more balance and understanding yourself. Your current life circumstances are forcing you to quit and stop and to really reassess who you are and how you see yourself and understand and accept that all you need to do is quit. Because you are at this point an addict. You're not doing this for any other reason except for being an addict. You don't really do it for fun. You say you do, you don't. You don't do it to connect with people. You don't do it to not feel alone, although it might seem that way, because you could not be alone in other ways. You could just go out and talk with someone, have a drink without like, going on and doing whatever. You can experience company in so many other ways besides this, but you never do. You never let yourself go that way because that would actually be true and vulnerable. And the thing is, like, you need to go back to basics instead of like looking to the next thing and how to go forward and like make it out and da 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 da, instead of like being in that mental loop that is just like an escapist mindset of an addict trying to ignore their problem. You need to go back and look at like how to be more bare bones. So just like quitting cigarettes, honestly, at this point. What would you do to breathe and come back to center, right? How can you distract yourself to something else? What can you swap this out with? How can you like actually put a plan forward for the next like year to wind off of this experience, off of this loop, off of this like lifestyle because you're really kind of going against what is good for you mentally, emotionally, and socially. I think you're noticing that you don't really hang out with people and connect, and there is something that's bugging you about it, but you're also like so busy and just doing and creating things, and you like the flair and the fire and the passion of like this quick life that it's kind of like fun, but at the same time it isn't fulfilling. I think you lost something in this experience as well. Like maybe you liked it before, but now you don't like it as much. If you can't sleep or live without this, you need to learn how to remove and release and let go of attachments, like metaphysical attachments. Maybe do some parasite purging and clearing and cleansing as well. If you just got a pain somewhere, as I said that, that's your sign that you need to figure out how to do that or learn about it or read up or find someone to do it for you. But then you also need to initiate proper like healthy changes on a direct level with yourself, either mentally, emotionally, or like just practically. Most importantly, like this needs to have a practical result as well, embodiment. Like you can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna hire someone and I'm not gonna have this issue of addiction." Like no, it's run so deep that you are a identifying with this. And when you identify with this, it's harder to stop because what else are you? What else is out there for you? What else could you be doing even? It's so deep by that point that it takes time. Most people that are addicts of any sort, once they quit, they might still identify themselves as being like a drinker, a partier, like whatever it is, right? Until even years after it. And then eventually they're like, actually, I'm not this. I'm not an addict. I'm not an X, Y, Z, whatever it is. I thought I was. I saw myself that way. I'm now actually quitting the identity behind it. I don't need to live my life that way. I'm free from it and I'm so much more. But it takes time and it's like a whole stage of life thing, like a lifestyle. And I think you can start doing it not just by replacing it and figuring out like a new lifestyle or other things you would prefer to do, besides understanding that you don't need these codependent relationships to feel like strong, independent, desired, and like attractive and passionate and fiery and all those things. But like you also need to realize what do you actually want? What type of relationships do you want? What type of partners do you want and partnerships? How would you like to experience this in a like perfect scenario daydream? And I don't know how necessarily. I guess like the best example I have is like, oh, if you quit for a while, right? And then eventually you did find someone you would want to be romantically involved with and be a partner of, right? That you would take things really, really slow. Or you would actually want to be emotionally connected before anything happens. Or I don't know, you would be practicing celibacy or if you're considering like marriage as well, right? How would that happen? And the celibate part, like either solo or single, either with a partner, like what is the scenario of you being rehabilitated looking like to you in your mind's eye? In your own contemplation. I do think you need to breathe and let go of the agitation and the attachment, the like high you're on currently, because this feels like a high. If it feels like drugs almost, and going through withdrawals and then getting high and just looping on that. So you need to find a middle point where you can start thinking clearly. Whenever you do think clearly, I mean, sometimes, you have these realizations in the middle of you still going through the motions. Obviously, most people hit a low point when they're high, and then they're like, "Oh, yeah, I need to fucking quit. I don't know how, but I'm gonna quit because I don't want these experiences anymore." So I can imagine you having that, I don't know, just laying in bed and being like, "Yeah, no, I don't want to meet these people anymore. I'm deleting the app." Like, I don't know. Maybe you have a friend you can trust to help you with this. Maybe there's some groups or events or other stuff around you, anonymous meetings, because there's definitely groups for this type of stuff. Not in every place in every country. I do want to say like some countries are more privy to this and like issue than others, but you can still seek out help in some damn way. Definitely could be there's someone around online that you can talk to, or like, yeah, I think you just need to talk to someone and be honest and just vent it out. And I don't think you need to hear too much back just yet. I think you'll be more open to listen to what other people have to say when you say your piece and you understand yourself more. Because currently you don't see yourself or understand yourself. You're just acting strong and doing a lot. And I mean like doing a lot in general in life. You could be also workaholic and some other things. Gambling could be like a thing for you, drinking, partying, going out, socializing a lot. Like you seem like a very active person in general, and you don't necessarily need to be like fit in the gym and all the rest, but like somehow you're active besides just this. And you need to reassess your whole lifestyle. So Du-du-du-du. Message from your inner child is coming through, which is weird and interesting. I mean, going back to like basics can be like what to do innocently in a pure form like that, especially from this, especially from this. Okay, so boop, boop. Oh, something hurts my heart with this. So you didn't have a lot of love when you were younger. That's coming through. Like you didn't have a lot of healthy love is what I want to say. And besides that, you don't know what love is because you didn't have a healthy example of it. So this is like the root of the cause or the issue is coming from like a deep-seated childhood thing where you weren't loved the right way, and so to seek out comfort and love was this like this was how do I grow up as fast as I can to actually be loved, and this was your like result. Um, which yeah, that makes sense. Um, what is this? Unexpected, surprising developments. Give yourself a chance to realize and understand that if you delve into your fears and pains, yeah, you might be sad about some of the truths you realize about what you really want and what actually makes you happy when it comes to like relationships, emotional connection, love, romance, I don't know, community, like just favorite pastime type of stuff. And that's the thing you're fighting the most is realizing your pain and your joy. But if you take the lead and you don't and you actually like invest in like literally restraining yourself, restraint playing with the rules within the rules like that is pretty direct in this reading. That usually isn't as direct as it is in this circumstance. Like you need to take the lead in restraint and playing within the rules and being very proper and kosher for a while. You might be surprised at how much you enjoy like simple peaceful life, but that only really comes to your awareness understanding if you delve into also in bite-sized pieces when you are ready, as you're ready, into your pain, into your fears, and into what you really like and want as well. Playing within the rules isn't going to be just like, oh, going cold turkey and it being so easy that it's boring and then you go back. Like, that is a very uncommon break within the system of it all. And usually, when you're restraining yourself to not do whatever you're so addicted to, and you're taking the lead and taking action to be healthier and happier, right? It takes time and it's an up and down. Maybe you'll relapse, but then that is also a opportunity to look at yourself and say, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I can see how far I've come. I can see why I do this, why I don't like this, like how I can go forward again with going longer or maybe not doing this at all anymore. Like relapse can be a part of the process of getting better. For you, I feel like it's delving into therapy, realization, and switching it out with something else. So your whole life is reworked, your whole lifestyle is reworked, and so then your impulses are also like changed. I think you might have issues with feeling a bit bored and numb for the first 3 months, but if you can stretch this out to a year's process, you will have new friends, new people, you will have new activities, you will actually start feeling not only peace by the half year mark, but also you're going to feel like chemically more balanced. You're afraid of letting go some people because some of them you're really attached to, the regular people you usually go to, but those people are using you anyway. And that's going to be a process of realization as well that some people aren't there for you to connect with and they don't provide that love you're seeking from like that childhood neglect. They actually use you for the same like come up for the same high, for the same like escapism reason. I think you get used more than you use people even sometimes. Sometimes. And some of you, I think you know yourself enough to know like whether that's true for you or not. But like you need to let go of those people. You can't keep them around as friends. You need to change everything. Like this needs to be treated like an addict treats their addiction and recovery. Very much significantly and seriously. And it's going to be a process. I'm not saying you're going to be successful in just 1 year. If you're really good, maybe. But even then, I think this is like recuperating for at least a couple of years or something like that, especially if you've been doing this for a long time, where this is like stemming from early early on in your life. Because you start out and year one is a breakthrough, but usually it still is a case of like you keep seeing progress and change and shift within who you are as a personality, identity, and a life throughout like year one, year two, year three, it keeps going until most of the time when it's this big or deep, by year five, you're a whole different person living a whole different life, and you see your whole like life shifting into a new stage because you needed that time to not only exit it, you needed to heal and have a limbo period, and then you needed to set up a foundation to go on forward to a whole different experience going forward from that. And there's nothing to be like ashamed of or scared about, but you can make that choice now instead of avoiding this forever and this possibly leading to bigger problems and issues. I think you're at a breaking point, and if you found this reading, this is a sign that you can do it, and something believes in you to do it. You just need to give yourself a try and a chance. Prayer would really help if you feel like it's like this devil energy starts clawing at you, like the addiction just starts itching. Prayer can really help. Meditation, mantras, affirmations, cleansing yourself with like smoke and sage and stuff like that can help. Yoga for some reason, because yoga is like a really good practice for somatic like release. I think that's why it's coming across, because all of the basic stretches would even like help you keep releasing and removing some like really nasty dank energy from like your lower chakras, because I feel like there's a lot stuffed up and stuck there. There's like pebbles of energy that need to be released and let go of. And simple like yoga stretches would really help. If you don't want to do yoga, even just our aerobics would be quite good, or simple at-home stretches. That mostly are, I mean, focused on your like waist down, but I think whole body stuff, depending on what it is, can be really helpful too. So. That is everything I'm picking up for you. I wish you the very best and, recovering and dealing with this and helping yourself get through it. I'm sorry for what you've been through and where you're at, and I know that, if you just take the chance, you can actually like get better from this. So, yeah. I hope to see you again. Thank you for popping on by. Um, Thank you for you being a returning or continuing viewer, if so. Also, yeah, I'll just see you next time, I guess. So have a good one. Oh, pile number two. So this King of Cups is making me think of the Scorpio energy. Fake light, Scorpio energy. It's, I even just like saw like a culty vibe guy. Obviously, tarot kind of excludes gender, but for this case, it's still like is popping up like a culty vibe guy that looks like, namaste, blah, 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 blah. But actually, they're just like pulling people to sleep with and get high with, and then manipulate and use them and whatever it is. And I don't know how that relates to your reading, but that just came through. A person that looks really good in the public eye but isn't good in general. They don't have pure intentions. They are full of ulterior motives and they're really much controlled by their like root chakra without having healed any of their life's like problems and issues. This, for some reason, needs to be sideways like that. This person slows things down for everyone. Like, if you encounter this person, you feel lethargic after that. Doesn't matter if you actually, like, spend time with them or not. Um, if you're just talking or hanging out or whatever, and that's that, like it doesn't go further than that, it's still like just being around them and their energy, you can get zapped, you can get like vamped really bad. They always play like on the line, like in between the fucking fog and the mist, they always like they might be one of those people even that don't have like a strong opinion on things because they're always like, oh, like the middle ground and da da da. Like it's only just to always show up a certain perfect, nice, great, amazing way, but they're not actually a great or amazing or nice person at all. They just know how to play the crowd. They just know how to look impartial. They just know how to look better than. It's all just fake, 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 fake. I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking glamour themselves. They probably really like looking good in some way, shape, or form. They might, I don't know, lotions are coming through quite significantly. Um, Done up hair and like very tacky haircuts. Yeah, very tacky haircuts. Direct, like eye contact. Very direct eye contact. You might feel like they're kind of like fucking staring you down or they don't take their eyes off of people. That's because they're looking for social cues and they're analyzing everyone. Like they're really good at reading like miniature little impulses and thoughts and like notions. They're not a healthy person. They're really good at emotional manipulation. You never get emotionally close to them. It's a superiority act as well. It's like, oh, I'm so much better than you. That's how they think or see it. Like, oh, if you get close to me, the game is up and I lose. But if you always, are trying to get to me, but you never do, I have you in my palm, basically, and I'm always going to be close to you because you're always going to want to get close to me, right? Yeah, they always also might ask like really intimate, close um questions, like very sensitive topics might pop up with them, and it feels as if it's safe to share with them, but there's also a feeling of like red flags or uncertainty, like you shouldn't talk to them, but then they have this demeanor of really putting that aside really easily. I don't know. They know how to like disarm people basically, and then they hold a lot of secrets that way. They don't tell others because they would get all caught in the act like instantly if they did. But they know that they can use that to their benefit otherwise, right? Emotional cupping and bonding and stuff like that. You know. They might have major Pisces as well. I don't know how or where. I'm not an astrologer, but something about major Pisces. They could also like yachts and being out on the sea, seafood, like luxurious seafood is coming through. Um, I don't know, taking vacations at like certain like beach resorts and shit like that. They're like very much like I don't know, flashy like that. And they always talk about being connected to nature and some other crap like that, or like I don't know, some type of woke bullshit is coming through, but it's so fake that it's like if you could if you would scratch the surface or scrape just a little bit, you'd see that it's just an empty, bottomless fucking pit with no substance. Why is this coming through? Reversed. They play behind like a facade, but they also play in like in between the lines of what is what do you fucking call it? What is just? Like they might be doing illegal shit on the side, they might do bribes, they might be okay with like paying off judges, they might be really well connected and they get away with crap, they might be into drugs. I don't know. I also see like so many repeating numbers, and I don't know how that's important. Something about the repeating numbers with this person. They might use spirituality in some way to try and get ahead, to seem like they're spiritually connected to you or coming in at like certain times and it's like divine and stuff like that. Like they try and seem like they're more in tune with reality and like people than they actually are, and they know how to manipulate the script by that and appear a certain way instead of actually being that. I don't like this person. I think some of you are being warned to not get involved with this person. If you know who I'm talking about, like, I don't care if they're your fiance, you need to fucking call it off. I really feel like you might have this person around you as like a friend, and you might be getting serious with them, either housing, a business, living close to each other, your friend groups getting connected and more intertwined, your partners getting to know each other. Um, you giving like getting them some favors, you lending them some money, you vouching for them. I don't know. If you're about to marry a person like this, like do not fucking marry them. This is such a strong warning. Like do not marry them. I don't care if this is a questionable like point or a questionable person. I feel like I really need to strongly say that. If you're not sure, right? And I could be talking out my ass, which, like it's good to question tarot readers and divine by your own intuition as well. Take some time. It's not going anywhere if it's meant for you, if it's the right person, it's not supposed to go away then. Giving it a little bit of time, as uncomfortable as it might be in like maybe physical 3D terms, in the long term, for you, for your health, for your sanity, this might be a really good idea. Because if this person is not who or what we're talking about, and you know that we're talking about like someone as close as a potential future spouse and stuff like that, like they're literally your fiance, just take some time. Give a certain period of time. Even just 2 weeks of a delay could potentially start showing their true colors somehow. I don't know how. It just throws a wrench into their plans, their schedules, their ideas, their preparations, and some other stuff like that. And it's just like they just need to be taken out of control just a little bit to be shown for you to be shown how unhinged and unhealthy and fucked up this person is, basically is how this is coming across. If this is like a friend's friend, you need to protect your friend if you want to. I guess, we're all responsible for ourselves, but it feels like this reading is warning about some type of predator within a community or a social group is how it's coming across to me. It could be to you, it could be to someone you know. Either way, this is like a warning reading is how it's coming across. You need to look out and keep an eye out on this fucking person because they're about to do some really fucked up shit, and if they're called into the like fray, if they're properly signed in, if they're coupled in any way, it's done. So like by that point, the new timelines are in effect, and even if you start canceling it out, there's already too much intertwined and involved to really like get rid of this person for good as easily as it would be if you could cut it off or down right now before there's contracts, before there's any legitimate like I don't know, I don't know, some things together. So yeah, they're baiting something to happen. There might be a lot of celebrations happening currently with this person. Everything's fine, everything's great. Look at us, we're fucking making it. We're living the high life. What, you know? And ultimately, it's because they're setting shit up. They're baiting everyone. Like, look at this hand, don't look at the other hand. False sense of security, having everything super posh and amazing and delightful and just looking great. They might be saying that they have more money than they do. They don't. They might be actually in fucking debt or like on the line of bankruptcy. Um, they're just interconnecting their web more. They're ready to like strike the iron while it's hot. They're ready to sign contracts, they're ready to send some messages out, they're ready to start some deals and etc. But for the time being, it's still like undecided in a limbo phase, and everyone's kind of like englamored, and you're just having fun with everyone before it's it's gonna be too late. They might be doing a lot of calming down and gaslighting, like, no, 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 everything's fine. What are you talking about? Like, no, that's silly. You're just imagining things. That would be radically like insane. That's not how things work. There's one person that's a target though, as I feel though. Like one person is like the most enamored and naive and just gullible and believing all of this because they're the most emotionally attached to this circumstance or happening or event or just this person specifically. I think this person, because the Eight of Swords is feeling like an actual person, they feel like they're actually in love almost with this King of Cups. And they don't want to believe it. They need some evidence. I don't know how they get evidence, but someone here can provide evidence, or they can get into shit if their plans are like thwarted just by 2 weeks. Because then something goes like down, like a deal, a contract, an agreement. Someone flies in, but they're only there for 5 days compared to like, having to extend their stay and then sort out this business. Like something is very particularly set up and peculiar, and they've done it so right that no one really knows that it's happening until everything is going to be finalized and sometimes passes and then, the mask falls away. So, okay, one last card I'm hearing. Yeah, so they're just waiting for everything to fall into place the way that it needs to. If you don't know how to get involved or what to do or how to get out of Dodge, you can just ask for Spirit to help you with this and support you through this period currently right now, and you will have an opportunity show up for you. Like you will have a sign, you will have like a light bulb moment, you'll be able to talk it out with someone. Like something's gonna pop up and it's gonna be like on a silver plate, silver platter. Like this is what you need to do if you want to get this person out of this whole situation or your life or their life. This is what you do. But otherwise, it's like they're just waiting for everything to come together and fall into place. So, but you can also have that circumstance and scenario show up and occur, but you just need to send it out to the universe and ask for some help and guidance. I mean, pray on it, something like that. I don't know, just something came through of like, if this is concerning your daughter, don't worry about looking like a crazy mom or dad. I think it's more for a mom, but crazy parent, whatever it is, or a super concerned like friend. It's fine. If it's gonna show up like that, it's gonna show up like that. I eventually your name is gonna be cleared either way, so it's at least better to try and then to just give up for the worry of like your own face, because that will be cleared either way. Like your name will be cleared regardless of what's going to be said, but at least then you give the opportunity and the chance for this person to be outed because they are playing on those listy vibes basically, like, parties, having fun, not caring about it, and they're literally like enamoring this other person through obviously like intimacy and closeness, and that's not good. Like that is not good. So that is it. I don't need to talk about anything else. I hope this helps someone. I don't usually have messages like this, but this had to come through for a reason. I hope this finds you when it needs to find you, whenever that is, because these are timeless, and this can be now, this could be in the fucking future. I don't goddamn know. Um, Either way, yeah, do you do what's best for you, and I wish you luck with this fucking pesky goddamn lusty son of a bee. So yeah, thank you for spending your time here and for having this reading, and I hope to see you next time as well. So yeah, peace. Hello, pile number three. The readings are fucking interesting. I gotta say they're interesting. This one, as soon as I pulled down the card, I heard some things that may be triggering or concerning. If you're not into weird, wacky, woo-woo stuff, this might fly over your head, or I want to warn you, like, don't get scared. Um, So this reading may involve like actual attachments. I did hear demonic attachments. I can't avoid that. Besides that, you might be having like weird ass dreams, where you are, I don't know, feeling certain sensations or having a lot of like fun in bed and stuff like that. You might be dreaming of a lot of different types of partners or different experiences. You might not even be dreaming about it. You might just be having like certain sensations before you wake up or as you're falling asleep. You might have like a really high libido. You might have like a porn addiction currently going, something like that, because like literally I do feel a lot of that type of energy with this, like incubus and succubus kind of came through too. So yeah, this pile is kind of talking about that, and we're gonna have more information, spirit, or do I need to check some shit out. Okay. The fuck is that about? I'm trying to understand something here. I just don't know what it's. It's these like three freaking mountains in the background. Mountains. In this case, they're like sand dunes, whatever, but they're still mountains, and there's fucking three of them, which is not great. So something in threes or in three stages or a stage of three. Um, you might have like three hurdles. You might have had three experiences or occurrences occur either in your early life or current. You might have had like three weird experiences. You might have had three weird readings or signs pertaining to this energy and conversation. Something about that, because usually it's about conquering things and overcoming yourself and the circumstance and reaching these pinnacles and going through the trials and tribulations. But in this case, I feel like something has happened in threes. That's where I like I can't get away from that. Something has happened in threes, and you're at the third third like hill, third mountain top, and you're about to go down. I don't know why, whatever that is. If, I don't know, figure it out. I'm sorry, it's just coming up. Like I can't read it much more than that, so I'm gonna leave it. There was probably actually some spiritual beings or people that really wanted to help you out, but you pushed them away because you're too armored up. And a part of that is because you're actually attached to this thing that's attached to you. It kind of feels like a friend or a friendly presence and energy that supports and protects you instead of realizing that this thing is siphoning your energy. It's actually draining you of your life force. It's keeping you away from connecting to people with people. It's also keeping you away from healthy experiences either with yourself or with others when it comes to like this whole freaking topic. And other people can't come in and help you unless you are open to be helped. The thing is, this thing is attached to a childhood trauma or wound. This thing is attached to you through some type of like care or need to not only escape reality and feel better, but also to connect with yourself somehow on like a deeper level that isn't just through pain and annoyance. Because I feel like you might be a person that's really hard on themselves, and this is like a way to not be banging down on yourself and like hating yourself too much. Like that this is a way you love yourself and you're not prepared to start doing the real work or the journey of figuring out like how to really love yourself instead of how to like, just have like the quick fix of it through some type of energy being like helping you while it's siphoning energy off of you. Because you don't actually get the truth of it or the core experience of it. You just get a superficial like quick fix. It's surface level satisfaction. It's not the real deal of you really connecting neither with yourself emotionally, mentally, or with your body. It's just a thing that this being is providing you so it can keep on leeching off of you. If you've been feeling mental instability or emotional huge waves up and down and like hiccups emotionally and breakdowns, this is related to this. You can get rid of it by really delving into your shadow because there's something you need to understand about what you hide about yourself. Like, why do you hate yourself and why are you angry about yourself? Because you can just look at that and love that part of you, and it'll ease up and it'll stop attacking you because it is kind of like you're fighting yourself in so many ways. And this thing is like a buffer in between of that, and it's using that space to wedge itself into your energy. You can liberate yourself, but you're very much scared. You're very much feeling like a kid and naive and stuck in a loop of your own like desires and demise and desire and demise and desire and demise, and it keeps just on going and going. And then you just can't escape it. It doesn't matter how many videos and self-help things you like, watch and no fab this and no fab that, or how you like try and connect with people. It just does like nothing works and you think that this is what you deserve. And that's all of those like type of thoughts actually come from that being because it needs to still have a hold and a hook onto you. The way it can go away is if you don't feed it, right? You starve it out. You feed yourself love and compassion. You accept yourself for who and how you are, and you don't like go into the point of like shame and guilt and other things, because that's just the way it processes and it needs to work. You need to like set boundaries and put your fucking foot down with it. If you start this process, then you can maybe get lucky and find a practitioner that can actually cut the cords and remove it completely. You can do it yourself is what I'm getting though. You can do it yourself. Some of you are like spiritual practitioners and witches and stuff like that. Even if you're not, you can still do it yourself. You can really easily do it yourself. You'll know what to do. You'll have these weird inklings. Something's gonna be calling you and beckoning you and just like saying, try this, try that, go there, do this, like, and you're just gonna be leading yourself into a circumstance where eventually this thing has to like unlatch from you and you can just live your merry own life. And then that'll just like open up a whole new level of healing and discovering of how do you get reacquainted with this part of yourself that was kind of like abused by this being and neglected in a way. Because just because it was an overdrive or whatever, you were experiencing it in this case like this way, it doesn't mean that it wasn't being actually abused. Because in this case, it is. There's like a part of you that's getting whipped. So much energy. All right. What else, Spirit? Where are we going now? It doesn't have any power. You have all the power. I think you're just afraid that you're going to need to deal with your problems by yourself on your own and that you won't feel the same anymore after this is gone, but you'll feel better. In a way, maybe you'll feel like not as intense and not as strong, but you'll be fine. You'll still have yourself, and you're actually going to feel like there's a whole new world to rediscover. So yeah, this deck is now just talking about like some of the problems and how to remedy them. We also have I choose to learn through love, and hope is the conduit for miracles as the top and bottom of the deck. So some of you might actually have also a connection to the LGBTQ collective just because of that rainbow card that just popped out. It just really hit me. That's some of you might be connected to that, and there's definitely some guilt or shame surrounding that truth of you as well that is being like neglected here and use as fuel for that thing to attach to you. So, whew. um, I am the dreamer of my dream. And thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. So you're afraid that you can't see the light for yourself, that you can't figure out your own life and actually make those adequate choices and decisions. You're afraid that you're only going to make bad decisions and bad things occur and happen, and that you can't connect to a higher force or a divine energy. You are already divine. You're already like connecting to higher forces. You wouldn't be in this reading if you weren't, by the way. The thing is, you need to empower yourself in knowing that you can actually like figure your way out of this and you can live your life adequately without being addicted or attached to something that is not for your highest good, that is not good for you to begin with. You have the freedom to have your own free will in your hands. You have the freedom and the power and the choice to set yourself apart and also then explore and understand and heal at parts. Will it be unpleasant or challenging? Yeah, but there's nothing you can't handle, and you still do have like divine support and you have love and you have ancestors supporting you, but they can't do shit if you don't do shit. Like you're the one that's calling the shots. You're always the one that's calling the shots. It doesn't matter which part of the fucking fence you're on. It doesn't matter who you're connecting with or playing with. It doesn't matter. But you need to be the one that calls the shots and says like, that's it. I'm living a different life. Like I'm gonna dream my dream. I'm gonna actually live my life. I'm gonna do something that's actually healthy and good for me. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna believe in higher forces being with me. I'm gonna take up new practices. I'm gonna do something that's giving myself a chance. And I'm gonna be courageous in exploring my own triggers and traumas and, the darker sides of me so I can actually love them and then figure out how to actually have fun with myself. So The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need, and I recognize that I have chosen fear and I choose again, I choose love. And so that's kind of reaffirming the message of like, I think you're limiting yourself in thinking like what is the right road and what is the only road and what you need, and you can kind of surrender to the process of just like reaffirming that you're shifting gears now, you're changing teams, you're kind of like giving yourself over to higher forces like of an unconditional love and support and light that aren't, this nasty energy or like demonic or otherwise. I don't know, you might have been exposed to some real dark shit like rituals and other crap. Maybe you've been in a neighborhood where there's witches and other crap, or like maybe kids were doing fucked up uh ceremonies and experimenting with Ouija boards and other things when you were younger, which is kind of common in teenage years, but you don't need to do that lifestyle anymore. You haven't been forsaken just because you made a fucking mistake. Jesus, who hasn't made a goddamn mistake, you know? So you can still mature and bloom into who you truly are, and you can be like safe and protected with that. But you need to also admit and recognize that, yeah, you've done this out of fear and neglect, and you need to realign with choosing from actual love of self and support, from actually going by what is right for you and what is healthy, and just being supporting in that notion. So that is all I'm getting for this pile as well. Anything? No. So I wish you the very best in your journey. I hope you find light and you figure it out and you understand that you are safe. You are safe and you don't need this. You don't need this. It's gonna be a journey, but you can make the journey, and you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna become an amazing person if you just go through it. You're still obviously amazing currently right now. I just think you're in a low point of yourself, and you're going through a tough time, and it's just about reframing your own self and your state of mind and focusing elsewhere, focusing in a different way. So, yeah, thank you. I hope you have a good time or day or whatever, or hope you like cope through whatever you're going through, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Hello, pile number 4. So it feels like you're having weird and interesting dreams. I don't know. Feels like you're in a weird space astrally. I just heard you could be in a prison space. I mean, it's a weird prison, honestly. It kind of feels a bit. Ugh. How do you describe it? It's kind of one where you keep having experiences like a Hansel and Gretel situation. Like you keep having experiences or dreams or pleasure or other stuff like that, and then something happens, and you might not remember what is the thing that happens, but something happens. Something not comfortable or nice happens. It's like the dream is great until that one moment, and then you wake up. Maybe you don't have enough rest. Maybe you sleep a lot. Maybe you don't sleep enough. Maybe it's hard for you to fall asleep. I don't know, something's happening in your sleep time. But it does, like, you can't pinpoint it because it's kind of like out of your perception or awareness, and it doesn't feel that way. If, like, it's so hard to explain. If you were having like good dreams, right, and then there's just this one moment that isn't cool or great, and you wake up and you don't remember your dreams, you don't remember what happens, and everything is just okay or fine, but then you start having these symptoms like, how do you know what the hell is happening, right? So, something about a person just came through too. Like you're trying to not think about a person. I don't know who that's for and why. Like you're fine. I'm fine. I don't need to think about them. I don't, they're not a part of my life. It doesn't matter. They don't matter. None of this matters. Like you're a trooper. You do keep like going on and doing what you can to experience yourself the best way and just to be happy and healthy. That is so weird. I just saw something come towards my hand. What the fuck? This is a really weird pile. Like it's I feel like I'm in between of worlds. Like something happens in the shadows all the time. Metaphysical stuff is occurring all the time. You might actually experience like either shadow people in waking life or even as when you're sleeping, you might have sleep paralysis experiences. Because I feel like something keeps gripping out into your or gripping onto you. I feel like something keeps fucking catching you and yeah. Oh, that's uncomfortable. I don't like that. You're sleeping on your experiences and trying to like just have water under the bridge on something that happened in real life. But you need to face it and you need to put it to rest. You need to have peace within yourself instead of ignoring it and saying like everything's fine in your life because that thing, that relationship, that experience, that altercation happened for a reason. But if you don't face it and you act like everything's all right and it's not occurring, you will start having problems. I'm seeing so many fucking wacky fucking things with my third eye. Shadow people, goddamn imps. Ugh. Like it's like the darker things you find in the fourth dimension. I don't like it. If you see things out of the corner of your eye or in the darkness, inside, outside your house, doesn't matter. It, in your dreams, like I would want to say pay attention, but it feels like it might be a bit scary. Some of you are brave enough to be like, nah, it's fine. I can look at that stuff. So if you can to detach from it, like defend yourself, like cut cords, create barriers or ward or stuff like that, like do that because some stuff is really gripping onto you and it's trying to claw into your energy more and more and more. Sorry if this is freaking you out. If this is freaking you out, it might not be your reading for you. Maybe you just need to come back to it at another time. Maybe you should not be having this reading because this is gonna it's gonna be a bit dark. So if you put the social experience you had to rest, like if you lay it to rest, it's actually going to really help you with these experiences and circumstances. It's going to stop a lot of like the attachments trying to claw into you because like we things we haven't come to terms with are also openings or can be perceived as like fears or weaknesses for other beings and people to come and attach to or do things and like send energy and etc and give you nightmares with. So in this case, like I would assume this has to be with like an intimate person that was intimate for you to you. I'm very much like feeling like either friends with benefits or even maybe a past partner or relationship of some sort. And if not, I don't know, maybe you fantasized about them. And if you didn't, maybe they were just very emotionally close. Maybe you guys really clicked, or I don't know, you were just like a good, healthy relationship, it seemed like, and then it just ended out of nowhere, or something dramatic occurred. Accept it, let it go, come to terms with it, forgive that person if you can. If you can't, that's okay, fine too. You still need to let go somehow because it's adding to the issue and problem. It's opening like it's keeping this gap where crap is coming in basically that you don't want to be attached to you or in your life or in your energy or part of it. Sorry, I'm just having like really weird experiences with this. Might need to have a conversation with this person just to air some stuff out. If you need closure that way, that's fine, but you need to admit with yourself that you need closure and then send it out. If you can't have it directly really with each other, maybe you can have it in dream time. Maybe you can somehow work on it within yourself and your own energy. I don't know, but like I do feel like you want to have an experience where you can actually like air some stuff out and have some closure so you can move on and close this off and like let it be and let it go. It might not be one of the nicest conversations. It might not be the nicest experiences, but it's necessary for you to be happy and for you to feel good. Maybe that person will be rude. Maybe you'll say too many emotional and vulnerable things, but overall, you need to like lay some things out there and let it be and not hold it in. And you need to say it to this person somehow. I don't know how you could do it, and imaginary styles like in your house you're talking to a fucking corner. You could text them or send them voice messages if they would agree to meet with you just because like set it up honest like hey, I need to say some things just to get it off my chest, like it's gonna bother me, I need more closure or something. Or if you meet them randomly or something occurs or they message you, like you can look for an opening or you can wait for one to occur or you can have like a weird experience with it or maybe even do it in your dreams. But you need to be okay with processing this through instead of it holding you back. Something about it is is affecting your I want to say is it it's not financial stuff. What is it? It's affecting something though. It's affecting some type of like flow and equilibrium in your life. It's like a dam. It's not letting like the river or something to flow. It's not letting creativity flow, freedom flow, sociability flow, relationships flow. It's not letting some type of energy to flow. It feels like it's keeping something stuck at the heart. It's not helping you be strong and sensible. It's actually like keeping you away from being a leader in your own life. It's like co-creating a victim mentality so you can't get out of your own fucking way. It's gonna keep on doing that if you don't like let yourself kinda accept what happened and that it was what it was, and humans are complicated and relationships are hard and sometimes you don't get your way, but that doesn't mean anything neither about you or the other person. It just means that you need to go your own way and become confident, but you also need to go through the healing process of whatever it is, in this case, finding closure. So then you don't have more weird experiences than not in sleeping and waking life, it feels like. Just because this almost feels like a living nightmare in a way. Oh, my heart still hurts. My heart. Oh, I can't breathe. It hurts, type of thing. Oh, this one's hard. Yeah, you need to seek higher like counsel with this. Stop being attached to the like pain of it. Stop being attached to the anger and the angst of it. Stop stop holding yourself back from having this conversation, mature or immature like. Either way, it's like you need to have this truthful experience. And if anything, you can also call out to higher realms or beings and ancestors and God to help you with the fucking like weird nighttime experiences you're having. Because something is trying to burrow in while you're not facing the aspect of this real life relationship or whatever it is needing closure and for you to like heal, right? If you're not doing it, whatever this is being like, oh yeah, I can have a field day here. Like I'm gonna go in. And I feel like you're also really repressing whatever you believe to be like light and love and orderly and supportive energy. Because I have never had this placement of like the high priestess reverse and the devil like this. Never have I had this. Not that I believe, like this is very particular fighting off higher order. Like something about this experience that you've just had has made you stop believing in love, unconditional love, divine stuff like holiness, like higher realm vibes, like in God, maybe you've even lost your faith. S- Trigger warning, severe trigger warning. For some of you, this involves like a passed down loved one, like a past partner, most likely, is how it's coming across, like a partner you lost in an accident or something else happened. And I feel like there's forces kind of having a war, like a tug war. It's not as an extreme thing as like an actual like, intercontinental war, but this is like a tug of war over your own consciousness and sovereignty between lower vibes and unhealthy, unhinged, emotionally like just disgruntled and mad and heart like energies and feelings and stuff like that, and then higher vibes of like giving it over, to God and letting yourself fucking heal, like letting yourself come to terms with what has happened and how life has occurred and where it's going and that you're still okay. Like this person was a person in your life. They're not you. They're not your entire life. They were never even yours to claim. They were a part of something important and they were always meant to be that. They were always meant to be a sign of love, of actual like pleasure and experience of like something what you've considered divine, obviously, one of maybe your best experiences in your life, but you need to understand that good things also come to an end, and that's what makes them great, especially in this reality. It's not great, but we can't keep everything forever. Doesn't matter what it is, who it is, for how amazing it is. Life is just that way. And the thing is, there's some beings that use our pain, our anger, our resentment, our fear, right? From losing things, from not feeling that love anymore, or from something happening that is misfortunate to grip us down even lower. That's just the truth of it is. I'm not fear mongering. I'm just saying how it is. Like when you're vulnerable, that's when you are your own catalyst for something greater to occur or for you to be like pulled down underwater. And that's every single time when something horrible happens. Everyone's gonna grieve in this life. There's no avoiding that. Everyone's gonna lose something. Everyone's gonna lose themselves at some point as well. Everyone's gonna feel pain and sadness and fear. You can't go through this life without having these experiences, and they either build you up or they bring you down, and there's both teams playing on both sides of that as well. Either for your benefit if you choose so, or for your demise if you give up. And in this case, it's saying, like, don't give up just because someone you loved you've lost. Because you're meant to still find love. This was actually bridging you closer to understanding deeper love and deeper pain that comes with it, but still then going the journey of like it's worth it. It's a process though, because you need to mature into that phase and experience. You need to actually accept that. You need to actually go into that. You need to choose to keep living that, you know? And it sucks. It really does suck. It's not easy. No one said it is. So, top and bottom. You don't understand how to live your own life just yet. You don't understand how to like be on your own 2 feet and how to like come together and be centered. You don't know how to have any clarity to just like exist even at points. But I want to say you will. You will find that independence when you go through the breakdown and all that you need to. You go through what you need to express or the closure behind it. You scream out to the universe, to God, to yourself, to that person. I don't care. You need to like let it out somehow so you can kind of grieve for a bit and then let that alchemize, let that process and rebuild into a new you instead of being stuffed up so much and stuck in where you are currently, because this isn't forever. It's just a part of the journey and going further towards something greater. So I feel like some parts of this might have helped some people and others it might still be really tough for you. So my prayers go out to you, but also I just want to, say like you can do it and thank you for having this reading because it's not easy. For sure, hearing neither this and message, neither these going through these experiences while everything's occurring and having the message. So yeah, I wish you the very best. I hope you take the chance in getting some closure, and I hope you start feeling better as soon as possible. So yeah, thank you for getting a reading. I hope to see you again, and if not, that's fine too. And yeah, um, I wish you the best. See you next time. Hello, pile number 5. Your reading is the most different, it feels like. Like everyone's was very different, very different. Um, but yours is something about you not really realizing your full potential and your fullest self. Also 11:11 on the clock as I'm doing this reading as I've just started. So you keep wanting something to happen or occur or a certain experience to happen and occur. My right side hurts so much. I don't know why. But it doesn't happen because you're not understanding yourself. You're really just not understanding yourself. You've not come into full view, full bloom, and there's very much a lot of opportunities for you to be taken like what do you call it? I just had it, it just blipped out of my fucking mind. To be like taken advantage of. There we go. So if you haven't had actually experiences and you've really been wanting experiences, that's because you need to understand yourself first before you go out and meet someone or have experiences. And also, you're way more mature, like the usual, just like quick fun and whatever else that you see being popular out in society these days is not gonna make you happy. It's not gonna fulfill you. It's not gonna be worth your while. It's not for you ultimately. You were meant to have deep experiences and connections and emotional feelings alongside whatever experiences you're like really daydreaming or desiring. You might have like not a lot of success in so many many different ways and avenues and whatever that means to you like that's we're gonna leave it at that. So yeah, you need to kind of let yourself be where you are and understand that you're still coming into view and understanding of who you are, what you like, what you don't like, where you're going, and who you're going to connect with and relate with to have certain experiences. It's not about having just the thrill of it, right? The fleeting experience. It's also about actually embodying like who you are, how you connect, how you feel, what you like, what you don't like, and really being like vulnerable with that, like open and naked. So, and you still have a lot of repressed like stuff, like especially childhood stuff. You need to still figure some of those emotions out because they're still they're gonna come and goddamn annoy the crap out of you. They're gonna torture you. So, yeah, it's gonna take away any of the like surface level fun that you could potentially have right out of it, but you're also just not a person for surface level fun. You are currently like the reason you're feeling what you're feeling is because you're currently kind of like coming to terms with how your mind works, how maybe you've that was a really weird fucking throat chakra experience. I think you're still coming to terms with how you think, what you're expressing, what is actually yours, and what's just societal brainwashing. What's just thrills and I don't know, like a general generational addiction is coming through as well. So like generational might mean a lot of different things. In this case, it's coming across as like your generation grew up with this thing that isn't even good or healthy. It was just popularized and conceptualized because there was a market for it and someone was making money off of it. I don't know how that relates. You can figure it out. You're fighting your own healing process. You're not experiencing the maturation you're going through currently. Like you're staying stuck at a level where you should have already evolved, is how it's coming across. Which, it's not a judgment of like should and shouldn't and whatever. It's more just like calling it out a little bit of like you th just because you think this is where you're supposed to be and this is fun, or this is how I don't know, dating goes. This is how like adults hang out. This is how parties go or something. I don't know, something to the extent of like this is how people meet each other or this works, right? Just because you think that way and then you're striving for perfecting this experience, you are not letting yourself actually mature and grow up. You're not letting yourself learn and click into not only who you are and how you express yourself and what your preferences are, but you're also literally keeping yourself away from seeing the illusion behind it that it's just like I think some people do that are happy with it, but it's not for you. It was never for you. You're just having impulses. If you're hanging around people you might be an empath that's picking up on other people basically because you might be hanging out around people that have a lot of that going on in their lives or energy. It's like ticking you off. It's kind of like triggering you energetically. You need to do some clearing and cleansing and saging and cut some cords, like cut all the cords you can. If they it's not gonna cause too many problems or shouldn't if it's healthy. If it's not healthy, it'll be for your betterment and good. Some people might go a bit weird and wonky because I feel like you have a lot of energy and passion and potential, and some things might, like some people might be kind of like draining you as well with that. Intentionally and intentionally good or neutral, right? Like whatever it is, I'm not here to judge it or call anyone anything, but it's just this is the message that's coming through. So, like, you need to accept that you're a bit more, you're in a, you're a bit more evolved, but I think you just want to be human and enjoy yourself for what it is, but it's not gonna work, is how it's coming across. You might as well just take it for what it is and just go forward with your actual journey that is more deep and philosophical and emotional and has more meaning and you are more present with yourself and other people aren't really quite fitting that currently right now because you're meant to find someone special in the future to have your fun experiences with that are really gonna matter and stick and like you can taste the fullness of life through that instead of like looking for these quick thrills that other people are just fucking happy with and satisfied with. You will not be happy with it. You will not be satisfied with it. You need something with substance. You need a particular resonant person or resonance in that experience. You need resonance within yourself as well, is what's coming across. So you might provide some type of healing in the future. I don't think it'll be as much as like what do you freaking call it? I can't remember the name of it, but we're gonna be just polite and say like whatever type of like escort or entertainer, not necessarily as direct as that, but like I don't know, you're not gonna be like as hands-on. You might just be a person that like is really good to speak to on certain issues or topics when it comes to this type of stuff. If you got super triggered, even more so this message is for you, not necessarily because you might actually be a healer in this case. Maybe you won't, but you aren't comfortable with yourself enough is still coming across as a sign. If you just got triggered or you got a significant physical reaction or a block or a coughing fit came up or something right now for you, because I felt that kind of hit some people. But like you might provide some type of healing. Maybe you're gonna be that friend that people that can talk about their experiences to and be like, I don't know what's wrong with me or with my partners or why I can't find people, right? Maybe you'll be a person that can critique the industry. Maybe you're a person that educates other people just by sharing sensitive topic opinions. Maybe you do get into it as an actual like career or job of some sort. Not all of you. I think none of you. I think it's more on the speaking part and maybe being that friend people can like have those conversations with. Not for everyone either way, but you might just be a healing energy and presence when it comes to this subject too, right? If it's not as direct as conversations and stuff like that. You are really being bombarded at this point by a bunch of energies that aren't yours and aren't for your highest good. So really do work on like barriers and shielding and like reflecting and mirroring it back and cleansing your aura and home and stuff like that. Something about your pillows needs to get also sorted out. Yeah, something about your pillows needs to be fixed. I don't know what it is. Maybe get a whole new pillow for some of you. So, yeah, it's not about like your instincts and inhibitions and ego and stuff like that. It's more so about it's more so about actual like real experiences that are long lasting, mean something, and aren't just on the 3D like just meat bags or like bodies. It's also on the spiritual, and there's something happening there. It's like surreal and a magical experience, not just like the whatever it is to you right now, and you haven't quite realized it, you haven't understood it to the fullest, to the max. You're still processing by what community you're around or group of people or how you grew up or like what you learned when you were developing instead of realizing what you are really about. Sorry, I just saw this weird squiggly fucking thing fly in the front of my left eye, and that was really weird. I think that was just a sign of like some of you have released some things because you kind of clicked in on what we're talking about. Not completely or fully, but you kind of got the vibe. And some of you haven't gotten the vibe, but you understand, like, okay, I'm just not getting my answer because it's more woo-woo and spiritual than it is like just go out there, find a person, have fun, da 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 da, yada yada. And it's understandable that you're having these feelings or emotions flood you because you are kind of working through something energetical besides being a sponge. from other individuals and like some societal programming you've been through as well. So, yeah. Anything else, Spirit? One more card. I just got told to just pull the first card from the Monster Garden Oracle cards. Harmony, a joyful crossing of paths. I feel like some of you instantly thought about like crossing paths with a certain person, but no, this is like the way this is coming across is like you need to understand yourself with all sides and aspects of yourself. Your feminine, your masculine, your inner child, your inner teen, your adolescent, your current self, your different emotional sides, like the angry side, the sad side, the super happy side, like the promiscuous side, the shy side. Like you're coming out of your shell in so many ways, and you're also breaking out into like being so much more seen and sensed and like noticed and wanted that you will it's not going to be what you think it is. You're going to need to exercise boundaries and awareness and know that not everyone is for you and you're sacred. Your energy is sacred. And other people aren't all going to be fun for you or happy for you or good for you. Some of them might very well be not only a disappointment, but not an experience you want, not a connection you want. Energy transference also can get stuck. As an empath, you might really feel it. You might start feeling their emotions, the pressure, the pressure, the depression, mania, other stuff like that. You might start feeling all of their repressed emotions and like baggage, you know? You might just meet people that take and use instead of like actually connect and like, have fun with you or have you have fun too. You don't know. Like you really need to come into center. Even if you think you're so, even if you think you're ahead of the curve of what I'm talking here about, there's still something here for you. You still need to reintegrate and claim of yourself. Womb space energy just came through for someone. You need to clear something and reclaim something there, maybe call back some energy. And if not, if it's just like you're still quite like young or inexperienced, or you're just getting into spirituality, or it's been like a real long dry spell or something, right? You need to take it slow. Like you need to really accept and understand that you are not as far ahead as you thought you are, and it's not as simple for you. It's not as quick of a fix as you wanted it to be. It's more complicated and complex, and you're complicated in a good way, and you deserve a good experience with the right people, the right person for some of you. So, but you got to go through your process, finding harmony within, and then you'll find harmony without. So, I hope you liked your message and it helps you. And let me know by a like. If not, that's fine too. I hope you have a beautiful, good day. Thank you for spending your time here. And I hope to see you again in another reading. So, yeah, have a good one. Peace out.